Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Mindful Movement with AARP Alabama. I'm your host, Margie, and again, we're here with our great yoga instructor, Becca Impello, who's been teaching and practicing more than 20 years. Now, we want to remind you, don't forget, AARP is the nation's largest nonprofit, nonpartisan organization dedicated to empowering people 50 and older to choose how they live as they age. With a nationwide presence, AARP strengthens communities and advocates for what matters most to the more than 100 million Americans, 50 plus, and their families. Health and financial security and personal fulfillment. Learn more at aarp.org. AARP is committed to offering opportunities for you to stay involved and engaged from your homes. That's why the Mindful Movement series provides an opportunity for you to get moving and to keep moving in the safety of your home. Okay, Becca.
Good morning, Margie.
Hey, Becca. How's it going this morning?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Oh, doing great. Beautiful day. What you got for us today?
Well, Margie, today I thought we would focus in on the neck. That's an area where a lot of people hold tension or stress or just may kind of, struggle with some mobility. So we're going to do things that, get us moving in the whole body, but we're going to focus in on the neck and the upper, shoulder, back region today.
Okay, all right. Now continue to view this presentation. Don't forget, you need to check with your physician before you begin any exercise program because you want to make sure that it's okay for you to participate. Okay, Becca, take away.
All right. Well, I just want to reiterate a little bit around that, taking care of yourself, making sure it's safe for you to participate, just as the AARP, mission is centered around helping people choose how they live as they age. We want to empower you during these segments to choose how you participate and how you use your body in our mindful movement sessions. So while I'm going to lead you in some practices and some movements and some stretches, you still have lots of choice along the way. Those choices may be related to how big of a movement you make, how far you take a certain position, or even if you choose to do a particular movement at all, right? So we want to empower you again to choose how you're working with your body. And we're always willing to hear and welcome your feedback, your suggestions. Particularly, I love to hear if anyone would like me to focus on anything in particular in a future session. I can't do that here live because I've already got a plan for today. But if you send us your comments throughout this session and say, hey, I'd love for Becca to focus on something next time, I'll certainly take that into consideration. We do love to hear from you. All right, so let's take a moment to sit tall. We're going to do a good bit of today in a seat, but there will be some opportunities to stand up if you want to. All right, I want you just to start by maybe closing your eyes and just bringing your awareness to where is your head in space. Where are your shoulders? What's the position of your spine? All right. Can you detect? Can you tell? Is your head a little bit forward of your shoulders? Is your chin tilted a little bit up or a little bit down? Or does it feel like your chin is level? Where are those shoulders sitting? Are they forward of your sort of midline? Are they in the center? Are they back? And these aren't things that are right or wrong about your posture. That's not what I'm asking you to check on. I just want you to see if you can, notice where your body is in space. Do you have a good sense of where your body is, right? That's one of the things that we cultivate in our mindful movement practices is improving our ability to know where our body is in space and how it's moving and how it's feeling. All right, so let's just take a couple breaths. We're going to use our arms. You can make a small movement or a big movement. Here's one of those choices you get to make. We're going to inhale and just raise those arms any amount, maybe all the way overhead, maybe stopping somewhere else. Exhale and press the palms back down towards the ground. Inhale, reach out and up. Big breath. Try to lengthen up through the crown of the head. Exhale, feel yourself sitting more firmly on your seat. See if you can find a little more length, a little get a little taller in your overall spine here. 2 more breaths like that. Breath in, reach out and up. And exhale, relax the shoulders down. One more time. All right, now you can let those arms just rest hanging by your side or in your lap. Again, try to sit tall. So you're going to see if you can imagine sort of a straight line from the sitting bones, which are the bones in the bottom of your pelvis that maybe you can feel if you wiggle around a little bit. You want to think about a straight line up from them right to the crown of the head. This hopefully drops your chin down just a little bit. All right, now let's give that head some movement to sort of check in with how is our neck moving. So we're turning right and left as our first movement, right? Just isolating the rotation available at the neck. Now, I never want you to force or push, right? So especially here as we're beginning, I want you just to be gentle with that turning. Notice how it feels. Notice, what is that sensation that tells you to stop? All right, now we're going to take a different motion, starting with that head looking forward. Let's tilt it right and left. All right, so different than the rotation. This is a side bend, right? So tilting like you're dropping your ear towards that shoulder. Again, you're going to be gentle, not forceful. And see if you can notice, is your shoulder rising up? Like, is your shoulder trying to come up to meet that head or that ear? Can you keep those shoulders relaxed and down? Is there a difference on your right or left, right and left sides? Difference in sensation? Difference in amount of movement. All right, now bring the head back up to center. One more plane of movement for us to go through. We've done rotation, we've done side bending. Now we're going to do nodding. Forward, chin down towards the chest, and then lift the chin up and tilt any amount, the chin up, the head back. Now that's a movement that sometimes, is lost depending on the shape of your neck curve or, your posture or just how much you're moving. And I don't want you to move through any pain, of course, but just see what it's like. Sit up tall. Can you tilt that head back any amount? What's it feel like? All right, now we're going to come back to center. We're going to combine both movement and stretching for the back, the shoulders, and the neck, and then also some strengthening. So we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of strengthening right here for the neck. These are called isometrics, and you're going to keep them pretty gentle. But we're going to start with bringing our hands. It could be one hand. I like to use both because that keeps me from turning my head towards that arm. All right, it could be the fingertips at your forehead. It could be the heels of your hands at your forehead. All right, I'm going to try to keep myself sitting tall, and with those fingertips or heels of the hands there, I'm going to gently push my head into the hand and then relax. And gently push my head forward into the hand. And you can make this lighter or stronger. This is one of those choices you get to make. Keep the jaw relaxed. 2 more presses. All right, so those arms come down. Now we do the opposite direction. We bring the hands behind the head, chin slightly down, up tall. And again, just a gentle press back into the hands and then relax. So I'm just moving my head back into my hands. The hands resist, so my head doesn't really go anywhere. That's what makes it an isometric exercise. Jaw relaxed. 2 more. All right, and then release those arms down again. Take a pause. All right, now we're going to work on the rotation, so the turning right and left. We won't actually turn our head because we're doing that isometric. Go ahead and have a hand on each side of your head, right there above the ears. Again, it could be fingertips or the palm. All right, and I'm going to gently turn into the right hand and then relax. Turn into the left hand. Relax. Again, you get to choose. I recommend that you don't ever push as hard as you can with this. There's just no need, right? But you're just going to push to some degree that feels right for you, just so you feel some action, some contraction of muscles through your neck. All right, we got one more each side for this isometric rotation or turning. All right, and then relax a moment. Almost done with these strengtheners. The last one is the tilting motion side to side. It'll look the same as what we just did. The hands are in the same place there on the sides of the head, but this time I'm tilting into the hand as if I'm trying to bring that ear down to the shoulder again. Again, finding the amount of contraction, the amount of action that feels right for me. Last one each side. And release. All right. Now, you may have noticed that something in your shoulders, your upper arms may have gotten a little tired there. So in addition to strengthening the neck, we were giving our shoulders a little bit of activation as well. All right. Now, let's just mobilize those shoulder and shoulder blade muscles, especially the ones that run up and into our neck and that, connect those two places. So shoulder rolls, slow and deliberate, forward and up, and then back and down. And I'm trying to isolate, right? Trying not to let my head bob, all right? I don't want that head shifting forward or tilting. I'm going to try not to let my rib cage or my spine move too much. I'm trying to really get this to be a shoulder blade motion. Now let's reverse direction. Bring those shoulders back and up, forward and down, back and up, forward and down, 2 or 3 more in that direction. These shoulder rolls are one of my biggest recommended activities for folks to keep their neck and upper back feeling good. All right, roll back a few more times. All right, and then let the arms drop out to the sides. Let's go ahead and just open and close the fingers a few times. Circle the wrists. Go the other way, circle. All right, and then with the palms open to the front and the arms a little heavy, as if there was, a string attached to your fingertips here, gently pulling your arms longer. All right, this is going to drop the shoulders away from the ears a little bit. All right, now we're going to just do some stretching for the neck. I want you to tilt that head towards one side, let that opposite arm be heavy. Pause for a moment. Bring it back up to center. Tilt it to the other side. Arm is heavy. Bring it back up. If that feels too intense, make your arms less heavy and/or don't try to tilt your head quite as far. Let's do it one more time to each side. Tilt, backing off if you need to. Back up to center. Tilt the other way. Back up to center. All right, now just let those arms shake out for a moment. We're going to do another movement with the neck with those arms in the same position. So again, take the arms out and down, get them a little heavy, palms forward. This time, turn the head and then drop the chin, like you're trying to look at the hand over there. And then bring the head up, the chin center, turn, drop the chin. Bring it back up into center, turn, drop the chin. Arms are still heavy or as heavy as you want them. Back up into center, turn, drop the chin. Back up, center, and shake those arms out. All right, now another movement for the upper back, and this will involve the spine a little bit more as well. So we're going to pull back, squeezing the shoulder blades together, squeezing the elbows back, pulling the hands back, and then push. Reach forward, let that upper back get a little rounded, right? So this is where you can start to involve the spine. You can arch, pushing the chest forward, and then you can round it. And now try to get your head and neck involved a little bit more. Maybe lift the chin up as you pull, tuck the chin down as you push. Nice breath in as you pull, exhale as you push. Good. 3 more. Last one. All right, so bring those arms down. Now we're going to do the next thing standing up. Although you could stay seated, you could easily do the arm positions that I'm going to demonstrate and the turning of the head from a seat if for any reason you need to stay in your chair today. But if you're okay coming up to standing, you could have your chair just as something to touch or to rest your hands on when needed. All right. Let's go ahead and if you're standing, take one leg back and the other leg is going to stay forward. So we're in a bit of a lunge position. Lift up tall through the belly, through the chest. And let's go ahead and raise the arms. So if you need to touch, if you need to help with balance, keep one arm down while the other one raises. And go to a V shape. So the arms are wide like a V and the thumbs are turning back. And then really lengthen up through the crown of the head and up through those fingertips. And then exhale, I want you to pull those elbows down and back towards your back pockets. And see if you can pull your head back as if there were hands still on the back of your head. And you could do that isometric press. And then reach up, maybe look up. That's an option you can take to look up through those hands and then pull the elbows back, pull the chin down and the head back. So not towards the chest with the chin, but level. And then reach up, maybe look up, pull down, reach up, 2 more, pull. All right, let's step in. If you're standing, shake those arms out. Let's step the other way now. So the other leg back if you're standing. All right. This time we're going to take those arms to a low position. We're going to take the arms at our sides, turn the palms forward, maybe out to the side, and roll those shoulders back and squeeze. Lift up through the chest. Again, maybe lift the chin and look up. And then we're going to bring those arms forward. You could hold onto the chair or reach out in front. The chin comes down. Sweep the arms back. Chest up, chin up. And then exhale, bring the arms forward. Bring them back. And forward. About 3 more. All right, and then come back to sitting tall or standing tall. Pause just a moment. Take another check-in. Where are your shoulders? Where's your head? What's the sensation in those areas now? All right, we're going to take that stance again. Go ahead and if you're standing, have the right leg back and the left leg forward. Okay. And you're going to bring either both arms out in front of the chest, and you can do this if you're seated. If you want to keep holding on, just drop that left hand to the chair. All right, so this one we're going to pull back with that right elbow, turning the chest to the right, turning the head, and then I'm going to try to follow that right arm back with my gaze, and then bring it all the way back into the front. We're going to stay on that right side. Pull back, turn the head, almost can follow your fingertips or your thumb with your gaze to sort of keep that head moving. 2 more times. Pull, turning the head, working on that range of motion, combining trunk rotation, shoulder blade movement, arm movement, and head and neck movement. All right, step forward, drop the arms, take the other leg back. So the left leg back if you're doing the standing part. Up nice and tall through the chest, the crown of the head. Again, either both arms out in front or one hand can be down or holding on. Pull back with that left arm. Follow with your head. See if you can reach that arm back. And then all the way back to the front. Again, you're trying to follow that hand with your eyes so we get that rotation of the head and neck, improve that range of motion, helpful for looking behind you when you're driving, among other things. Last two. All right, back to center, step forward. All right, give those shoulders another little roll here in place. Now, if you are standing, you can take advantage of using the back of the chair or even a wall nearby to walk back with those hips and stretch back. If you've stayed seated, you can feel free to fold forward, maybe letting those hands drop down towards the floor if you want a stretch for your back. 2 more breaths here. All right, bring it back into center or back up to the chair. And again, this one can easily be done seated. And after we do this one, we'll all come back to seated. But if you'd like to stay upright, you can stand on your feet for this. Bring the hands out to the side like you're, waving hello at someone. Elbows can stay down, or a little more challenging would be to try to pick those elbows up to shoulder height. All right, now we're taking this for shoulder movement. One hand behind the head, the other hand behind your low back. Now, what I want you to try to pay attention to as you go side to side is, where is that head position? Are you moving that head forward to get your hand behind it? Can you keep the head back, the chin down? Are you arching your back to get your hand behind your back? Can you keep that tailbone heavy? That low back neutral. All right. If your shoulders let you go a little further, maybe you try to bring those hands towards each other on your back. About 4 more here. Two more. Good. And then let those arms drop, shake them out, come back to a seat if you're standing. All right, now we've done a lot of things to warm up, to improve our awareness of the areas that, that relate to the neck, all those muscles that go into the shoulder blades and upper back. So now we're going to do some just nice range of motion mobility for the neck, but it's going to combine all those 3 movements that we did at the very beginning. All right, so again, this is one of those places where you get to choose how far you try to move, whether you make some little adjustments along the way. All right, so start by sitting up tall, finding that crown of the head up. We're going to turn to the left and then drop the chin down. And then start to trace across the chest, across the collarbones with your chin. I'm going to drag that chin all the way over here to the other shoulder. And then I'm going to let that chin tilt forward and see how it feels to let that head kind of roll through the back until I get my chin over to the other shoulder and then back down across the chest. Now, if any part of that circle is uncomfortable for you, you kind of skip over it, right? Don't let your head tilt very far back, that kind of thing. Let's go one more circle in this direction. Go slow and deliberate. All right, next time that chin gets to the center of your chest, I want you just to lift it up, pause, take a breath, and then we're going to try to go the other way around the circle. All right, so sit tall and try to pull that head back a little bit, turn the chin to the right, drop the chin down, slowly bring it across the chest. We get that chin up on the other shoulder, and then the chin spins forward. Gently roll that head through the back, over to the other side. Take your time. See what you can learn along the way about how your body's moving, what it feels like. What's different going this direction versus the other direction. Last time, circling around. And when that chin comes back to the center of the chest, I want you to pause. And slowly pick that head up. Give those shoulders a couple gentle rolls. All right, now just a couple more stretches for the neck. And again, I want you to choose how much, intensity you might put into that stretch. I generally recommend that you go to something that's mild to moderate in intensity. Really, really intense sensation is not really going to do our nervous system a favor, especially in this region of the neck where, there's a lot of muscles. All right, so hands will be at the heart. And what I'm going to do is tilt my head to the left and stretch my right hand down and out. That hand reaching is what's going to put the stretch here in the neck and into the shoulder. And then bring the hand back and the head up. And then tilt the head the other way. Reach that opposite arm out and down. And I'm in control of how strongly I reach that hand and how intense that stretch feels. Take it the other way again. You can also sort of change the angle. Is that arm reaching a little higher or a little lower, maybe a little back? Now, let's do it a couple more times, but I want you to play around with the angle of your head. So instead of just tilting to the side, maybe you turn the chin down. Maybe you tilt your head a little bit forward. Playing around with slightly different angles, slightly different positions will help you just to mobilize and stretch different muscles that feed into your neck and connect it to the shoulders and the upper back. All right, let's go one more time each direction. And then bring it back to center. Let those arms drop. Give those shoulders another roll. Sit tall. I want you just to see again if you have any better sense of where your body is in space. At the very beginning, I asked you to notice where's your head, where's your shoulders, how are they, in relation to each other. See if you can detect anything different now, if you have a better sense of where things are. And then let's just finish with rechecking those isolated movements of the neck to see if they feel any different now than they did, about 30 minutes ago when we started. So start with sitting tall and rotating. Does the movement feel easier or smoother? Does it go farther? Is the sensation when you get to the end different than it was before? All right, bring it back to center. And now we tilt side to side. Again, you're checking in. How does this feel now? Maybe it's the same. That's okay. Maybe there's some subtle difference. Maybe there's some big difference. All right, and then our last movement when the head is back to center is going to be chin down and then chin up. Maybe with that tilt of the head back. And again, just check in, see how it feels. Are you able to, go further back or go back at all? Does it feel different than it did before? All right, and then bring that head up. Take just a moment sitting here to breathe in and breathe out. Send some gratitude to your body, especially your neck and shoulders. Those muscles do a lot of important work all day, holding your head up. All right, lift the hands up to the heart in a gesture of gratitude. So thankful for AARP Alabama for giving us these opportunities to move together. And we're grateful for all of you that show up and participate in our mindful movement sessions. We'd love to hear from you about what you like or what you'd like to see in our sessions. Thank you so much for being here today. And we hope to see you next Tuesday for more mindful movement.
And thank you, Becca. We enjoyed the session today. And we would like to invite everyone to come back and join us always on Tuesday mornings for Mindful Movement. We have a great time. We love having you with us. Thank you, Becca. Bye, everybody. See you next time.
Bye, Margie.